You managed to pull together like 1,000 people or something, right?
1,600 reservations. 1,600 people were here. Actually, it was more than that because that doesn't include all the children who came. And lots of kids came. Not all of them stayed for the end of the ceremony because it's late. But we had 700 kids here with all the games and the activities and the celebrations that took place beforehand. So this was kind of an amazing thing for this whole community of the Valley to come together and to celebrate.
So it's interesting because the events that they have at the park, now at the Shepherd Center, the IAC Center, those are mostly, as opposed to what we used to have in Woodley Park or at Rancho Park, which were largely originally American Jews and then Israelis. And the one at IAC is Israeli. Yeah. But this one tonight, how Israeli do you think it was?
No, this was American. That's, if you listen to the rabbis talk, we talked about our responsibility to support our family in Israel. And this really was a sense of our community coming together to celebrate, to remember, and to show support. This was our community's expression.
And is it Rabbi Leibowitz? So he talked about Americans stepping up in this time since October. How have Angelenos stepped up to your experience?
Well, you saw it tonight. I mean, there's a tremendous sense of solidarity, tremendous sense of celebration, protecting each other, protecting our community, teaching our kids. And then in certain other kinds of very political ways, very open political ways, there was the rally that took place at UCLA 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
You know, a couple of thousand people came to say, we're here too. We also have a voice, and we would like to see the campus of UCLA ring with Israeli music and with a pro-Israel voice. So I think that people have done their part, and they've been a tremendous amount of behind-the-scenes political action to make sure that the government, America's government, its defense establishment, continues to support Israel very strongly.
Professor Pearl, how did it feel to be here tonight among your adopted community?
No, we have so many friends. Really.
We mean
I mean the Israelis who live here in Encino, and I've been associated with the Valley Bet Shalom for many years. I know that I have friends here, but not that many.
We're all coming
and
to
not
dinner
with that
Friday
kind
night,
of enthusiasm. Yes. And that kind of singing. I've decided to join the youth choir here.
That's very good. Love to have you.
What do you think about the need for Aliyah at a time like this? And I'm saying the changing climate in the United States. Either of you, but because Rabbi Leibowitz did mention that the people who stayed outside have an obligation, that when there's trouble within the land, that we have an obligation to come and defend the land. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the obligation. Look, right now we are a Jewish community worldwide with 2 centers. This is not the first time in our history we've had 2 centers. Okay. Right? For much of Jewish history, there was a center in Eretz Yisrael and a center in Bavel to the east, right? We have 2 centers. Half the Jewish world lives in Israel, half the Jewish world lives in America, and there's a smattering of communities around the world beyond that, in Europe and Australia, some left in South Africa and other places, Latin America. But these are the 2 major communities, and these 2 communities have discovered a wonderful symbiosis. And as horrifying as this crisis has been since October 7th, that symbiosis, that mutual support, has grown stronger and stronger and stronger through this catastrophe, right? And I think it's very important that we see that. So there are voices in Israel that say we don't need America, and there are voices in America that say we don't need Israel, but they've been pushed to the margins. And these 2 communities with a very strong voice understand that we protect each other. Now, will there come a time when American Jews say it's time to leave America and make Aliyah to Israel? I don't know. I hope not. I hope that people make Aliyah out of a sense of joy of the Zionist project and a sense of optimism about raising their children in Eretz Yisrael, Medinat Yisrael, in the state of Israel, and not out of fear. That's not a great way to make Aliyah to Israel, but if it's necessary, thank God Israel exists. And at the same time, if there are Israelis who need a break from the pressures of Israeli life and want to come here for a while, and many do, and we want to welcome them as well. 2 communities supporting each other, thriving And that's really what this story is about at the moment.
Professor Pearl, how have Israelis responded during this time of crisis since October, and of course now that we're entering into another?
Israelis living in America.
Yes.
Well, I know that we at UCLA we have a delegation of professors going and making contacts with the academic institutes in Israel, assuring them that they have our support. More than that, and I want to make it visible that the professors, we make the campuses, we the Jewish professors in the American universities, okay, have decided internally and will become officially in the future that we make a special allowance for helping Israeli colleagues in Israel to defy the calls for BDS. Because some universities have succumbed to pressure and made some sort of agreement with the protesters and the encampers. Okay? And to defy that, we will make a special, let's say, call it affirmative action for our colleagues in Israel. It will happen.